Hello, everybody, and welcome again to the next episode of Pristine Peninsula. I'm your host, Phiz Williams, and I'm happy to say that I am back from Los Angeles, California, and today, I know Memorial Day was yesterday, but today we want to just talk about, with a couple people, what they did for Memorial Day and what their plans are for the summer. So let's just dive right into it. We have a Mr. Lenny Yen. How are you doing today, Mr. Lenny?
I am doing fantastic there. I am having myself a wonderful day. Had a beautiful Memorial Day. Had lots of ducks at my duck circus. Couldn't have been a better time.
Now, do you go by Lenny or Yen? Or Mr. Yen?
You can call me Lenny. You can call me Buddy. You can call me Pal. Call me anything but a hater of ducks, because I love ducks.
Wait, so you remind me, you said you have a collection of ducks?
No.
Or...
I am the owner proprietor of the world's most famous, most fabulous duck circus.
The circus, okay. All right, great. All right, we'll get to our next guest, Mr. Dictionary Jones, Kid Detective.
That's right.
How old are you, for our listeners out there?
Wow. Okay.
We're going to start with that.
No, I get that a lot. I am 43 years old.
Oh.
I understand that the name Kid Detective is often associated with children, and it's not that I'm a kid who is a detective. I am a detective, but I take cases exclusively from children.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Now, to be clear, I was once a kid detective. I started when I was very young, but while most of my contemporaries aged out, I am a lover of the craft.
Okay.
And so I am still a kid detective, even though I am not a kid, as you so astutely noticed yourself.
Well, I had to ask. I didn't want to assume anything, but I had to ask. We'll get to our third and
Everybody
final...
says that they have to ask.
They do.
Yeah.
You notice that I didn't ask.
Yeah, but I'm sure you guys talked. You might have talked beforehand, so I don't know.
I've never seen this gentleman before in my life.
Oh, okay, all right.
You never been to a great duck circus?
No.
Well, at the end of our show. We can make that happen. We'll you can plug whatever you want at the end. Our third guest, Mr. Charles Busby. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let's start with you. What did you do this Memorial Day weekend?
I did the normal, Memorial Day weekend thing.
Which is
I had a cookout. Took advantage of the electronic sales. I harvested said electronics for components to build my interdimensional telepathic communications and interception array. Took the dog to Stony Creek.
Oh.
You took a dog out in public?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Not a duck, but a dog?
Yeah, I don't have a duck.
Surely you know that a duck is a superior animal.
Can you walk a duck like you can a dog?
The duck walks you, my friend.
Really? Now, is that natural, or did you have to train it to walk you?
I've never trained a duck in my life. All my ducks do whatever they want, whenever they want, but they're beautiful and I love them.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, Mr. Williams, if we
Yeah.
could, before we go on, there's a case that I have been scratching my head about over the entire Memorial Day weekend, and I just need to get it out there. Do we have call-ins on this show? Do we have something where if I put the information out there, because I've got to tell you, there are not many cases that have stumped me in my 33-year career as a kid detective.
You can put the information out there. Somebody might call in. I don't know.
Okay. So here's what happened.
Okay.
The principal of Middleditch Elementary, he came home one day and he found that there was, shall we say, a leavings on his porch, and thought nothing of it. Thought maybe the local neighborhood toughs had kind of had a laugh at his expense. But the next day comes home again. It's in his mailbox this time.
Oh.
Yes. I've taken to calling the perpetrator the fecalator. And, it's no laughing matter, Phiz. It's very serious business, I assure you. I put another case on hold. I was looking for little Sally Smith's retainer that she had lost. And it's rare for me to have to put a case on hold. I have every confidence that'll be found in time. But this sicko is just menacing the town.
Do you have any more details you can provide? Like, do you know?
Yes, I do. Believe me, I've looked at this case from every angle. And here's the strangest part: the log, if you will. I thought it must have been human at first. I thought somebody had used the mailbox as a commode.
Oh.
I'm sorry for being indelicate on your show.
No, you're.
I'm very sorry.
You're not indelicate at all. You could be more indelicate if you want.
Oh, I wouldn't dare.
Okay. You're a more proper.
You have to remember that most of my clientele are children.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right. So, however, after interviewing the locals, I determined that the consistency, size, and shape of this fecal matter could not have come from any human. Now, I even went and interviewed my arch nemesis, Worms O'Mealy.
Oh.
And yes, the leader of the gang.
The local toughs you were talking about?
That's right.
How old about is Worms?
Oh, O'Mealy's he's 12 going on 13.
Okay.
He's got a fuzzy upper lip. Yes. He's not to be trifled with. And actually, when I insisted that he must have had something to do with the fecal matter in the mailbox, he threatened to punch me in the face, and he would have, in fact, if my assistant Betty hadn't stepped in and judo flipped him. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Betty is she a kid also?
She is, yes.
Yeah.
I find that it's inappropriate to use an adult as muscle against children.
Okay. Does anybody ever ask you?
They ask me all the time.
Did they ask?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Well, okay, you're reading my mind.
Why I haven't graduated to more adult cases?
Yeah, that's
I've got to tell you
a roundabout way of saying it.
So Chief Jenkins, the new police chief, he's 33 years old, and he came to me on his first day on the job, and he said, "Dictionary, I respect what you're doing, but I also want to tell you that it's pathetic and you should grow up." And I said, "Now, Chief, I respect what you do as well, but I'm as grown up as I need to be."
Right. You said, "I respect you as well, but I don't tell you how to do your job."
That's exactly
Probably
it. That's
something
exactly
similar, right?
And he looked at me funny and he said, "If you do anything weird around those kids, I will arrest you." Now I had to ask myself, what could he be hiding, coming at me like that? But this matter of the fecalator, this is serious business, if you'll pardon the pun. This is a crime that cannot stand.
Okay.
And so if anybody has any information, please forward it to me at your earliest convenience, because I haven't been able to sleep at night. The meals that my mother brings me have gone uneaten, and I will not accept another casserole until this deviant is brought to justice.
Now, Charles, what do you, given the information that dictionary just gave us, what do you think could be the source of the dump, the poop, the crap,
Phiz.
the ass shite?
Phiz.
Well, first of all, I do want to thank you for doing your duty to help figure this out.
Nice.
This is a mess. Personally, I do have information from elsewhere that it could very well be one of the many activities of the Zeta Reticulum also known as the gray aliens.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the word, but I've heard of gray aliens.
Yes, they come from the star system Zeta Reticuli, and they've been very, very active in this sector of the galaxy as of late. So it very well could be, if you couldn't identify the type of fecal matter, it could be from out of this world, so to say.
Now, as outlandish as that sounds, I have given that some thought. I thought perhaps it was from a dog or a cat or something like that, but none of it matched. So, for it to be extraterrestrial in nature is not impossible at this stage. Although every alien sighting that we've had so far in our town has been a hoax of one kind or another. So, what evidence do you have of these grays that might not just be someone like Worms taking you for a ride?
Yeah, because local toughs, they like to joke around.
They're expanding their operations. They may soon be national toughs.
I get you. No. I also happen to be. I'm not just a UFO nut. People look at me and say I'm crazy.
I wouldn't judge you in that way, sir.
I appreciate that. No, I'm also a medium.
Oh.
And so I have had contact with an interdimensional being who goes by the name of Huffbart.
Huffbart?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a name, so to say, because he's telepathic.
Oh.
But he told me, if people really need to know a name to talk about him, his name is Huffbart.
Okay.
And he comes from the Chi Hercules system, but in an alternate universe. So he's not just an alien, but he's also trans-dimensional.
Oh, wow.
All right, I got to butt in here for a second.
Yeah,
You
Lenny.
can't seriously expect me to believe that you think it's appropriate to take a dog out in public instead of a duck. How can you believe that? That is crazy talk, my friend. Crazy.
I never said it was not appropriate to take a duck out in a public.
But you took a dog. A dog shares a letter with a duck, but it is not at all duck-like. It has 4 legs instead of 2. It doesn't have a bill. It doesn't even make a quack sound.
Whoa, where'd that come from?
Well, that's my pet duck.
Oh, you're not hiding duck underneath the table, are you? And stepping on it?
No, he's right outside the window.
Oh, okay.
He's listening in, and when he hears my silent call, he'll make out.
Wow. That's amazing. Now, Mr. Yen, does he have a name, that duck?
Yes, he does.
And do you know what my next question might be?
I do not.
Okay, what's his name?
Whose?
The duck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought there. My duck's name is also Lenny.
And you named him.
No, my parents did.
Your parents named you and the duck?
They named all their ducks Lenny.
So how do you know which one's which? When you yell, "Hey, Lenny, let's go," do they all turn around?
Well, only like some of them do.
Only some of them?
Some of them don't like me very much.
Oh, okay. Now, Lenny, what do you think could be the cause of the mysterious poop from Dictionary?
I got to assume probably some sort of squirrel. Obviously, that sounds like squirrel to me.
I examined squirrel droppings. They were too small.
Yeah, he said it was more human-sized and...
No, it's smaller than humans.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Smaller than dog, larger than cat. Sort of a greenish, whitish. It
definitely sounds like the description of a Zeta Reticulum dropping.
That's the best lead I have so far.
That seems more likely than anything. I mean,
wow.
I couldn't imagine what could cause something like that.
How do you spell Zeta Reticulum?
ZETA space RETICULAN.
Okay.
Charles, can you move your mic down just a little bit?
Sorry.
Just like this.
Oh,
yeah.
Get
a little bit better audio that way.
Okay.
Thank you. And Charles, I wanted to ask you a little more about the UFO stuff. Now, have you been to Area 51?
I don't have to go to Area 51.
Why not?
Because all I have to do, if I want to contact aliens, I just have to channel Huffbart.
Okay, do you believe that there are actual either physical aliens or UFO material?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I know. Huffbart has shown me the images telepathically
Oh, of
it all. Yeah.
that's very fascinating. I would like to learn more about that.
Now you said you channel this.
If you'd like, I can
Entity?
try to channel Huffbart.
I mean, I do have a question for him.
Okay.
If you'd like to get him in the room for us.
I may have some questions as well.
I mean, if Phiz, if you don't
Absolutely.
mind, might take me a moment, but yeah.
Yeah.
If you have any other questions for the other gentleman, I'll try to work on it.
Yeah. Well,
Now, Lenny, your parents, they wouldn't be open to any interviews, would they?
Oh, my parents are dead.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's actually a funny story. That's how I ended up with my duck circus. You see, my parents adopted me from. They're Chinese immigrants. They adopted me.
Okay.
And they had a Chinese restaurant. And when they died, they left me with a bunch of uncooked ducks. But I didn't know how to cook.
Oh, okay.
You see, they named me and the ducks all Lenny.
Okay. That makes a little more sense. Yeah.
Every duck that came in, it was Lenny this, Lenny, Lenny, Lenny. I'm not sure what it means in Chinese, but I can only assume it means great guy.
It might. I'm not very fluent in Mandarin or Cantonese.
But yeah, so when they passed away, I ended up with all these ducks. And, well, I didn't want to cook them. They were all named Lenny. I mean, I felt kind of bad chopping them up.
Mm-hmm.
So I started the duck circus.
Okay. Do you travel with the duck circus, or is it stationary and people just always come to you?
We travel all around Macomb County, Wayne County, Oakland County. Me and the ducks. I walk out the door. Some of the ducks follow. Some stay behind. That's on them.
What do they do? Tricks? Do they do? Is there
Tricks
acrobatics?
Tricks is such a strong word. What my ducks do is channel their inner duck. They are the duckiest ducks you've ever seen. Like, if you want to see a duck quack or flap their wings or sit in some water, I got the ducks for you.
Can we have Lenny from outside the window have another quack?
Well, let's see. Lenny.
There it is. I'd like to meet Lenny someday. He sounds like an interesting guy.
I tried to bring him in, but they said it was a health department violation.
Definitely a health department. Yeah. We don't know what kind of viruses that ducks might spread, but I'm sure you might know. The bird flu.
Bad ones.
The bad ones.
But also not as bad as the other ones.
Okay. All right. Charles, any luck summoning the alien?
Who are you talking to?
Hello?
Hello? Is this the Joe Rogan experience?
No.
What?
No, this is Pristine Peninsula, and I'm Phiz Williams. This is Michigan. I like to think of it as Michigan's podcast.
Hey, is that Hoagie Bear?
No. Charles told me I was going to be on the Joe Rogan experience. I was very much looking forward to meeting Elon Musk.
No, we don't have.
My ducks have a certain Musk.
We don't have real life James Bond villains on our show. Although we have had villains on, but they were not James Bond villains like Elon Musk. But Huffbart, what do you think of Charles? Is he a cool guy or?
Charles is a rube.
A rube?
He has no idea what I've been feeding him this whole time.
Really?
Yes.
What have you been feeding him?
Oh, I've been showing him fake images of quote-unquote extraterrestrial biological entities in the desert in Arizona.
So everything he thinks he believes about UFOs and aliens is a lie. Is that safe to say?
For the most part, yes. I mean, this human throat. Do not like it. You see, I speak telepathically. But it is true that I myself am an extra-dimensional entity from what you would call Guy Hercules, in a different alternate reality.
That's what we call it, but what do you call it?
We call there's no sound for it. We're telepathic.
Oh, okay.
There's no sound for it.
Okay.
If there was a shape, it would be. But
Okay, see, that's what I was trying to get out of you. There has to be some sort of audio.
It's different, and not all of us communicate the same way either. There are neighbors in the next star system over who communicate simply by vibrating their genitals.
Oh.
And you do
Hey,
not
ducks
want
do
to
that.
get caught in the middle of a heated argument when they're going. No, it's messy.
No, wait a minute. Are you telling me that this thing that Charles told me about the Zeta Rediculans is a hoax?
Oh no, they're real.
Oh,
They're real, but I mean, there's.
I don't think I could handle going down another dead end on this case.
Oh yes, no. See, Charles thinks that they're trying to set up some sort of hybrid breeding program with your very primitive species.
Oh.
In reality, they actually host the universe's most popular prank show.
This case has so many layers.
The Jamie Kennedy experience?
Oh no!
Or experiment?
This actually it's the same producers as the Jamie Kennedy experience.
Oh.
But no, again, I cannot really say the name of it because it's all telepathic.
Okay.
It's just utter nonsense in human thought. And even now, the words that are coming out of my mouth, I'm simply beaming thoughts and images into Charles's head, and his brain is trying to make sense of the ideas and the feelings and the Okay, that was too complicated for Charles. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, it looks like Charles is coming too. His eyes opened. Charles, were you awake for that? Or did you just black out for about 5 minutes?
Oh, no, I was watching a rerun of Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you take your headphones off just for a minute? Hey, guys, I think I'm really scared. I don't know what just happened. I think Charles is a puppet, and he is like he said, he's a medium, but he doesn't know what is really going on.
Let me tell you something, Phiz. I've seen a lot in my day.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think he's just a nut.
Okay.
That you led into the studio here. I think you're right to be afraid, but I think he may be a danger to himself and others, but I don't think there's anything supernatural involved
I mean, we have hard evidence he's a complete lunatic.
Yeah.
He prefers dogs to ducks.
Okay.
And dollars to donuts. You can't prefer dogs to ducks.
Yep. And soup to nuts and mustard to pants and all the other comparisons, right? All right, Charles, put your headphones back on. All right, buddy. Have you ever thought about seeing a therapist about anything in life?
I mean, I see a physical therapist twice a week.
Okay. Well, we'll talk after the show. Talk after the show. So we started off this show talking about Memorial Day and what you guys did. What kind of plans do you guys have for the summer coming up? Charles, what kind of plans do you have?
Well, I'm actually going to be setting up a podcast of my own.
Okay.
Which I'm actually hoping to transition into a series on the Gaia streaming network.
Gaia?
Gaia.
Oh, Gaia?
Gaia, yeah.
I don't know what that is. What's Gaia?
It's a streaming network where they have a lot of, there are a lot of crackpot type people on that network. Yes, it's ancient.
Don't
alien
say.
thing.
Like Alex Jones type people?
Not as political as Alex Jones.
Okay.
But it's stuff that YouTube or Netflix wouldn't. It's too controversial for them.
YouTube won't even. You can't even get it on YouTube.
Well, also they don't make as much money streaming on YouTube. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Dictionary.
Phiz, I will not sleep. I will not eat until the fecalator is brought to justice.
You can't give me any plans at all. What you might do this summer at all?
I'm gonna find that retainer. That's as
little,
far ahead as I've thought.
The little girl's
the fecalator
retainer.
is priority one. You have to understand. I mean, not since Worms O'Mealy and his nasty gang defaced the town statue of our founder, Hezekiah Robertson. Not since that day, and I was the one to bring them to justice. You know what happened? The police were looking for somebody with red paint. I went back. Those people had purple paint all over their hands. The police couldn't do a thing to them. It wasn't until I went back behind their treehouse, found a bunch of empty cans of blue paint, and put 2 and 2 together.
Oh,
that's right. They masked their crime.
Oh,
they
smart.
were sentenced to 3 hours of hard labor scrubbing that thing till it shined in the sun.
Smart for tweens.
I'm not. I am temporarily quitting food and sleep on this case, but cigarettes are still okay.
So you're not eating or sleeping at all?
Smoking, mostly getting by on sheer nicotine.
Wow.
It's a hard life, but somebody's got to do it.
It is hard. I don't know how you function.
There's a kid detective in each of the towns around, and if I don't keep my ranking up, I will be expelled from the league.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Okay.
It's about protecting the town, but it's also a little bit about the glory, if I'm honest.
Okay. All right. And what town or city do you live in?
Lakeville.
Lakeville, is that north of Rochester?
I believe it's slightly north and a little bit west, but I've taken a case or two from Rochester. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lenny, what sort of plans do you have this summer coming up? Does it involve other Lennys that are ducks?
Well, my plans aren't important, Phiz. Well, let me talk about your plans. Your plan should be to come on down to the Duck Circus, Lenny's Duck Circus, the best duck circus in the world, the only duck circus in the world as far as I'm concerned. We've got flying ducks, we've got flapping ducks, we got swimming ducks, we got duck all around. That's a duck we painted orange. We got duck a la mode. That's a duck we dipped in ice cream.
Okay.
We got duck all around a la mode. That's the orange duck in the ice cream.
What about duck a la king?
No.
No?
We got ducks. So let me tell you, we got so many ducks. People come up to me all the time. They say, Lenny, what the duck is wrong with you? And I say, nothing, because I'm the head of Lenny's Duck Circus. So let me tell you, sir, if you've got a mallard for fine entertainment, we've got the duck for you.
Okay. Have you ever seen that the documentary on Netflix called Tiger King?
I have seen it, yeah.
Okay. I imagine that your compound is kind of like that.
You would guess wrong.
Oh, shoot.
I have a studio apartment with me and my ducks.
And about how many ducks do you have?
I have 12 ducks at current.
Wow.
Sometimes some come, some go.
Now, with that many ducks, how do you keep it clean? Because seems like they poop a lot.
Honestly, it's a mess. Let me tell you, there is green and white poop all over the place.
Oh.
Left, right, center, covers the carpet, covers the walls, green and white, green and white. It's like I'm painting.
That's funny because...
Wait a minute.
Lenny...
Wait a minute. Say that again.
I was just going to say...
I'm painting the walls, the green and white.
Green and white.
Lenny just left something on the windowsill here.
Let me see that.
Yeah. I think...
Take out my kid detective kit.
Yeah.
Got my special gloves, my magnifying glass.
Yep, some tweezers.
That's
to
right.
Pick it up with.
Yep. And...
Is that similar to what was...
It's a perfect match.
Shoot. All right, guys, before you guys get into a fist fight...
No, I don't get violent.
Okay, before you do anything at all, Kid Detective Dictionary Jones...
Dictionary Jones.
We'll have to wait till the podcast is over before, you do any legal action or try to make an arrest because...
I don't know nothing about no pooping in the principal's mailbox for shakedown protection money. I don't know nothing about that.
For what now?
For what? What?
No, keep talking.
I think we're all missing the bigger picture here.
We're missing the bigger picture. You heard
Charles,
me, man.
what's the bigger picture?
What's the bigger picture?
The zeta reticulin problem is much, much, much larger than we all feared.
What's
obviously true?
Obviously, there are zeta reticulins going around disguised as ducks.
Clearly, that's the obvious explanation. I say.
I don't buy it.
Do you think?
Well, I sell it.
Do you think they're warping our perception of them through telepathy?
Yeah, I imagine they probably do have some form of telepathy, just like Hubbard does.
Charles, my friend, I know you're well-meaning, but I think the explanation for this case is purely
it's very
terrestrial in nature.
It's very simple. It's extraterrestrials.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No. This time it was a duck who left the Duke.
I deny it. I say.
What's that about shakedown protection money?
I have never been involved with the Chinese mafia, and they do not shake down the principles.
You mentioned the Chinese mafia, and you seem to deny it a lot.
Well, it's because it's not true. Why would I bring it up if it was true? That doesn't even make sense.
You're going to face justice, Lenny Yen.
Yeah, Lenny.
You violated our principles.
I deny it.
All right, we're going to move on to a next part of our show where we play a little game called Would You Rather.
I would rather be anywhere but here.
You're not going anywhere. I'm going to call my partner in here, and she's got a lot of good moves.
All right, well, we're going to start with Charles. Would you rather quit your job or eat 15 brown bananas?
Well, considering I actually just quit my job to focus on the interdimensional telepathy interference array and the podcast / hopefully streaming series
On Gaia.
on Gaia. Yeah.
Where were you working before?
I was working at the stamping plant in Sterling Heights.
Okay. Was it Ford or one of the smaller companies?
I'd rather not say. I may have been forced to sign an NDA.
Oh,
So.
something happened to you, bud? Or did you do something?
I cannot confirm nor deny that I was behind the sudden rash of disappearances of antennae.
Oh,
That may or may not be in my garage right now. Part of an array to intercept
the
interdimensional telepathic communications.
all right. So I understand not saying the place where you worked. All right. Oh, that's good. You would do that. Dictionary Jones, would you
Yes.
rather quit your job or eat 15 brown bananas?
The bananas, Fizz. I will never quit my job.
I was going to say you.
I love my job.
You
I
seem
love
very
bringing justice to
dedicated.
scumbags like this duck right here sitting outside the window. He's going to duck jail, you
He's-
believe me.
He's scummy. Look, he's pooping again, and
He's
looking.
leaving evidence everywhere.
He's looking you right in the eye, Dictionary.
That's right.
And
He knows what's
He
coming.
knows.
The swift hammer of justice. I'll take all the bananas in the world, if that's what it takes to protect my town.
Hey Lenny, do you know what kind of duck that is? The way he's looking in here right now, he's a Peking duck.
I like it. I'm going to add that to the act.
There's not going to be an act if you keep running rampant over our townsfolk.
I didn't poop in any mailbox. You can't prove it. I'll poop right on this table if you want.
That's not necessary.
Oh.
I never said that you pooped in the mailbox.
Well, one Lenny is the same as any Lenny.
Lenny, let's ask you a different question. Would you rather be buried alive or eaten alive?
I'll ask him. Would you rather be buried alive or eaten alive?
What do you say?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't speak duck.
I thought you could communicate with.
No. I can't speak with a duck.
Oh, Lenny, it's just falling apart for you. Lenny, let me ask you, Lenny, the human. Would you rather be buried alive or eaten alive?
Well, I think I'd rather be eaten alive.
And why is that?
Because then at least I could make sure that they got seconds.
Okay. Let's go back to Mr. Busby. Would you rather get a tattoo or get a piercing?
I probably the tattoo. I don't want any metal objects in my body lest it interfere with my interdimensional telepathic communications.
Right. You might receive something that you weren't even wanting to receive if you have a metal earring.
Or it could even just shock me quite badly.
Yeah. All right, Dictionary. Would you rather get a tattoo or get a piercing?
Those are both steps on the highway to disaster. I have to tell you.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many former kid detectives have experimented with tattoos and piercings, and suddenly they find themselves on the wrong side of kid law.
what exactly is kid law?
It's just a code. It's a code of the way that kids ought to treat each other. You know,
Okay.
about how grown-ups ought to treat kids. It has to do with sharesies and bedtime and taking turns.
Cooties,
Cooties, yeah.
mud pies,
Mm-hmm. Anything involving that. And
screwing around on the jungle gym,
that's right.
the merry-go-round.
You got it.
The soccer field.
You sound like a kid law expert yourself.
I guess. I
Yeah.
guess.
So for me, the answer has to be neither. If I were to get a tattoo or a piercing, it would be just another rung on the jungle gym of delinquency.
Okay. Mr. Yen, would you rather never go on another date or only date via reality television shows?
Well, I think I'd rather never go on a date.
Let me ask you, hold on, let me ask you, have you ever actually been on a date
With a human?
with a human being?
With a duck that's
With-
like a human?
With the actual human being?
With my mother?
Sure.
Then sort of.
Okay.
She let me hold a hand once.
Okay.
But I've gone this far. I don't need any more dates. I'd be just fine without them.
Okay.
That reality TV stuff, that is garbage. You know what you don't see on reality TV? Quality duck entertainment.
Yeah, there's no.
The kind you can only find at Lenny's Duck Circus for $4.99.95.
Literally just described Duck Dynasty. That's quality duck entertainment on reality
You know,
TV.
there is a bit of a conspiracy is with that show Duck Dynasty, and there's a noticeable lack of ducks on Duck Dynasty.
I've never seen the show before, but what's the main thrust of the show? Do they make quackers or?
Is it like a soap opera where the ducks are characters?
It's true. My mom won't let me watch reality TV.
I only know of Duck Dynasty from what I hear from Hufford. So.
Like I'm familiar with Dynasty.
The
But
TV show from the 80s?
Yeah, is Duck Dynasty like that, but with ducks?
I
instead of
actually helped
people?
solve the Who Shot JR mystery.
I believe
Was that Dynasty or
thought
Dallas?
that
I was 13 years old at the time.
All right, Lenny or Charles, let
Been
me
so
ask you a
long.
question. Would you rather have the ability to transform into anything you've seen or have the ability to professionally learn any skill just by observing it?
Does it count if I've only seen it in my head?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then definitely the oh. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff
Mm-hmm.
in my head, thanks to Hufford. I'd have to say the professional.
Learn a skill. What
Yes, a skill.
just by observing it, just by seeing it. What skill would that be?
I would love to be able to excrete all of the excess cellulose in my body, or cellulite in my body. Sorry, through the pores of my skin.
Really? Just simply to lose weight, or just to experience what it would feel like?
Well, it's a little bit of both. And then there are certain cultures out there in the universe. Again, from what Hoffert has shown me, that it's actually how they attract mates.
Oh wow!
And he
That's-
who can squeeze out the most fat is the most attractive. And I think I'd be a pretty good candidate for that.
I don't. Oh, it sounds disgusting to me. But hey, I guess to each their own, right? Man. All right. Well, we're getting more towards the end of our show. Lenny, I was going to ask you, do you have something to sell to the audience? And I think I know what you're going to say. Come down to the Duck Circus. Is there anything else? Any more details you can give us? Where will you guys be located next? How much does it cost? Are there any requirements that people must have to get in?
Oh, sure. What you must have to get into my circus is a love for ducks in your heart and $5.
Just $5 to come in. That's
$5 and a love for ducks in
and
your
a love
heart.
for yeah.
The second part's the most important part.
So do you just ask people when they come in, do you have a love for ducks in your heart? And they can just say yes
Well,
or no.
they got to wear the T-shirt that says it. That costs $35.95.
Okay, and do you have a website where people can order the the T-shirt from, or do
Yes.
they have to buy it at the event?
If they buy it online, they get 10 cents off.
Ooh.
But it's $7 shipping. So
Okay, so
just go to www.ihavealoveforducksinmyheart.xxx.
XXX, is that a real?
Domain name, yes.
Domain
I have
name?
a
Okay.
love for ducks in my heart.xxx.
Okay, well, we'll write that down. We'll make sure to include that on our Facebook and Twitter page. Mr. Busby, do you have anything that you'd like to sell to the audience or to make aware of? I know you mentioned starting a UFO-centric podcast on Gaia. Is there any details on that or anything else you'd like to let the audience know?
Well, yes, the podcast and hopefully series will be called Conversations with Another Dimension.
All right.
With narrated by Hufford. And then I'm also going to be publishing a book as well.
Has this been written or you've yet to write it?
It's been dictated to me by Hufford.
Oh.
And the name of the book is actually the Kai Hartkulin, their designation, what they call Earth.
Okay.
So it is the name of the book is Pen 15.
That's what they call Earth?
The narrative of your planet.
They call us Pen 15?
Pen 15.
Have you seen the Hulu show called Pen 15? It's actually really funny.
I have not seen a Hulu show called Pen 15, but the book is going to be Pen 15, a narrative history of your planet.
Okay.
By Hufford.
You know what's
That's
funny?
great.
When I was in school, kids would always tell me to write that on my arm.
I never understood it.
It was like some cool club I was a part of.
It's like you have a pen. Is it a number 15? Because you have a number 2 pencil, and then I never.
They even got me to write it on my forehead. I was a member of the Pen 15 club.
I'm not going to be the one to break it to you guys. It took me 3 years to figure it out.
How old were you when you finally figured it out?
16.
Figured what out?
Dictionary.
Yeah. Maybe when you're a detective, you'll know.
Yeah.
Some kind of duck detective.
Dictionary. Do you have anything that you would like to sell the audience? Do you have a website?
I
Or
sell my services. No, there's no website. You have to come to 17 Sycamore Street in Lakeville.
Okay.
And just, look for perhaps my dad working the garden out in front, mowing the lawn. My mom might be fixing up the... Wait. Lenny. What is that? What is that in your mouth? Lenny, open your mouth. Lenny, is that a retainer?
No.
Oh,
No, I'm
gosh.
talking to Lenny the duck. Yeah, is that a retainer? Get over here.
looks like
Lenny,
a retainer.
Get over here. Lenny, get over.
Lenny, get over here.
Lenny. Ah!
Is that the retainer that you have? Is
That's
it?
the one.
It's the one.
How many
All right.
kid crimes has your circus been responsible for, Lenny the human? How many?
Less than 12?
It's best to come clean. Now that he caught your duck, which we're 95% sure it was his poop, and we have audio and photographic evidence that he did steal the retainer.
At least
you
I
got to
can
come clean.
Eat and sleep again.
You know, I have a mallet for many things. I have a mallet for fine entertainment. I have a mallet for ducks. But most of all, I have a mallet for not getting my head chopped off by the Chinese mafia.
Okay.
So I do what I'm told, all right?
Okay. I got you.
I still think there's a good chance this is not the doing of terrestrial duck.
I'll tell you, Phiz.
There's a 5% chance.
Now that I can eat again,
Yeah.
now that this case has finally come to an end, you know what I'm going to have? A nice roast
Peking duck.
duck. That's right.
And you'll be able to sleep again, too.
Oh, I can't. It's been 4 days.
You can and hopefully throw away those cigarettes. It's not a healthy habit.
I'll double down on them.
Oh,
They keep me going.
geez. All right, folks. Well, that is the Memorial Day / plans for the summer podcast. I'd like to thank my guests, Lenny Yen, Dictionary Jones, Kid Detective, and Charles Busby.
Oh crap.
And Lenny the Duck. He brought so much entertainment for us, and we learned the source of
Wait a minute. Say that
crime.
again. He brought
a source of entertainment. Well,
wait, a mallard for fine entertainment. What? It doesn't mean anything, does it?
Well, I took it from my parents. They always said, "Have you got a yen for Chinese food?" So I figured if you got a mallard for fine entertainment, it works just fine.
My God.
But also, just one. You
Yes.
are going to be able to edit my name out of this entire.
Oh,
podcast.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll edit out the part where you stole the antennas from the stamping
I'm
plan. And,
pretty sure the NSA has a van parked out in front of my house. So.
yeah, we always cover the tracks of we have at least one or two criminals on every episode of this show. So trust me, I take care of my
Kid
friends.
criminals?
Not yet, but perhaps next time.
Is it criminal to try to save the world from Zayrutigulans?
Generally, yes.
Well, we don't know. All right, well, say goodbye, folks. Thank you for being on.
Thank you, Phiz.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
You're going to jail, Doug.
Thank you for listening, everybody, and goodbye.